organization, American Bridge 21st Century, has launched a six-figure ad campaign focusing on Puerto Rican voters in the blue wall swing states of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. And joining us now, senior advisor for that organization, James Carlyle, who's also co-host of the Politics War Room podcast. Also with us, the group's co-founder, Bradley Bejo. Joe, you have the first question.
Hey, James, with about 5 days to go.
Both Brett and I, degenerate gamblers, said I would say take Harris over 270 electoral votes. Let these fools in these crypto mortgages do something. Let them drive the betting line into a favorable place and take advantage of it. That's what I would do. I think she's going to win.
And what do you think she's going to win? I think there's going to be a lot of people that, again, will say, "Oh, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. He didn't say it. Oh, well, he didn't." And that is your group's push to get the message out to Puerto Rican voters in the blue wall states about what Donald Trump and those at Madison Square Garden thought and think of Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, I think this goes to what you were talking about earlier, which is that some of these voters are sort of numb to these crazy things that Trump says. But when you look at him making a threat of overturning Roe v. Wade, he made good on that threat. When they talk about Puerto Rico being garbage, when they talk about Liz Cheney, when they talk about overturning, retracting and banning the ACA, taking away health care, I mean, these are all issues. When they talk about whether women like it or not, they're straight from the horse's mouth. There's still 3 to 4% of swing voters in these states that are persuadable, and we're reaching them straight in their inboxes, in their text. They're over-indexed online. And I think this is what it really comes down to. You have to let them see Trump in his own words, let them see the threat. And if this is how you want to close a campaign on this closing message, this would not be on a bingo card of a successful winning campaign.
So, Bradley, so many campaigns every 4 years are settled because of the economy. And obviously, as we've been discussing this morning, there are a lot of important issues on voters' minds right now. But for many, it is going to be those pocketbook items that matter the most. You know, we have seen, at times the Biden administration struggle to get credit for the job it's done steering the economy. What is the closing argument the Harris team, she of course part of that Biden administration, can make here in these couple days for those voters who still haven't made up their minds and are thinking about their wallets?
Yeah, I think number one, you're seeing that this economy has been roaring, and we may not, I think people will start to feel that. Number two, reproductive freedom is an economic issue. You just heard a powerful story from Avery. When you talk about abortion, democracy, and freedom for a lot of these voters, you talk about child care, you talk about paid family leave. I mean, I don't think we should all be surprised that women are showing up in droves to vote for Harris. I agree with Donnie. They're going to save democracy. But child care, reproductive freedom, paid family leave, these are economic issues. And women are the dominant force in our politics right now, and we shouldn't forget it. Joe said this earlier. This is an election where it's bros versus Roe. And if you want to bet on the bros, which Trump is doing, it's a risky bet. You've not seen it win before.
All right, James, I'm curious. I know you think she's going to win, but in these final days, what would you like to see her doing?
I mean, she's got to go to the places that she's going, and she has to draw a very sharp distinction, which I think is going to be easy to do, because the events at Madison Square Garden, followed up by assassinating firing squad for my political opponents, it's just some pretty potent stuff. And Mika, let me tell you, he's going to find out, and Alito's going to find out, you've just agitated an entire hornet's nest of American women, and they're coming out. And if you look at these early vote numbers, or you look at anything, the women of this country are just tired of being treated like they're being treated by Trump and Alito on the Supreme Court, and they're gonna tell people they don't like it. I promise you. And that piece that you did is like critically important for people to see.
Democratic strategist James Carville and co-founder of American Bridge 21st Century, Bradley Baychok and James Carville. Thank you both very much for being on.
We've got passion, we've got determination, and if we set our sights on something, you better believe it's happening.
Joining me now is former Republican campaign strategist Stuart Stevens. Welcome, Stuart. It's nice to see you again.
Thank you.
And look, this week you said that Kamala Harris is going to win fairly and comfortably and by a larger margin than Biden did in 2020. You also said, quote, the Harris campaign is running what we're probably going to look back at as the best presidential campaign ever run. So your confidence is welcome to the Harris camp, I'm sure. But what is behind it, Stuart? Because